So now I'm here with card number 2 for the Exploring in Color Paper Pumpkin Kit. It is a storybook fold, I believe is what we call this. Or maybe just a book fold, but looks like this. I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of copper clay cardstock. I'm going to fold that in half at 5 1/2. Then I'm going to score it at 1 inch. On both sides. You could do this, you could score it at 5 1/2, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6 1/2, because that would basically be 1, 2, 3 score lines, whichever's easier for you. We're going to go ahead and put some, I'm going to put my twine again in the center of this. No, I'll just wrap it around the whole thing. You could wedge it in between here if you wanted, or save it for the end. So I'm just going to put a little of that on there, close that down, and now we've created a fold. All right. Inside, I do have a panel of white. That measures 4 1/4 by 4. I'm just going to glue that inside. If you're going to put words on it, I suggest you stamp first. In case you mess up, you could flip it over and try it again. So I'm going to glue that down. We're going to decorate the front. Again, I have a 4 1/4 by 4 inch piece of cardstock. This is gray granite. I'm going to glue that down. To here. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to take this card from the kit, and I'm just going to cut a 4 by 3 3/4 inch piece out of there. So we're going to kind of get an idea. If we cut the card in half, let's see, we want it to go to 4, so now you can decide how much of the mountains. So now we need 3 3/4. You want to cut the mountains off. So here's 3 3/4. We cut all the mountains off. I'm going to come part way to the mountains, and I'll cut the rest off the bottom. We still get the path and everything, but we don't lose all the dimension from the sky. I'm going to glue that on. Right here. I'm going to take the seine from the kit. Now you could mount this on another piece of paper if you wanted, or layer it with your white, or stamp it on white and then layer it on another copper clay or something piece. But I didn't want to take away from the whole visual look of the scene. So I just stamped right on there, and I'm going to put it doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you have beside you. Just up here in the sky. Then over here on the side, I had this strip left from one of the cards I was messing with. You could put like that little strip over there, add a little more scenery. All I am going to do is take my card I used for card number 1, the leftover bits. I'm going to cut it right at the fold there. And then I'm going to cut off 3/4 of an inch. No, I'm going to go 7/8 of an inch because I don't really want too much of the copper clay part showing. And then we're going to cut it down to 4 3/8. So let's see, I want to cut off, where's the card? Let me cut off most of the sky just to get it started. The card is 4 1/4 tall. We'll go right there and just see how that one turns out. And then we're going to glue that on the side there. So to me, you could use a designer series paper if you have one. I just wanted to kind of fill the whole thing up with more of a up close kind of the scenery. Fill it in, give it a little more look to what's going on. Kind of tie more in with it. You could layer this also on gray granite. I obviously didn't. I didn't want too much of the copper clay to show. I could have made it a little bit bigger. But it just kind of helps tie it together. And then we got the twine again. I'm just going to wrap that around the back. You can wrap it a couple times if you want to give it a more detailed, like a thicker look. Tie that up. Let's see, tighten that down, hold it. And then I try to hold it in place and then just pull the string, and then that hopefully, which didn't do it so hot for me there, but it should keep the knot like taut enough that because I'm trying, you guys. It's because I'm trying. All right, this is the last time. We're going to go with what we get. So I'm pulling it through, and I'm trying to hold the knot in place while I pull on the string. I'm going to cut it off. And then from here, I'm going to give it a little bend so I can pull the string down. Kind of just get that in the center, and you can, you know, pull it over if you want to cover this side up. Kind of spread it out like that a little bit if you want. You could do, you know, whatever you want. Stamp something on the inside. Don't forget to put your name on the back, or you're Stampin' Up! Angel Policy stamp if you're going to sell it. And there you go. That's card number 2.